has absolutely no idea I'm doing this, but I wanted to wish him an extremely happy 40th birthday, guys. This guy's made it 40 years around the sun. He is one of the most awesome human beings I have had the pleasure of enjoying life with. And Brad, I just wanted to wish you a very, very happy birthday. I thank you for your mentorship in my life, and your leadership and just your knowledge, man. You're a great friend, and I'm excited to be doing this podcast with you, man. And just wanted to take a quick second to celebrate you and wish you a very happy birthday. And I'm just believing great things for you, and just believing that this next year, that God is going to grant you just incredible things in your life, man. And I just thank God for you and your beautiful family. And we just love you and just appreciate you. And God bless you, man. Happy 40th birthday. All right, now back to the Crypto Takeover podcast. Enjoy. All right, what's up, dude? How you doing, Brad?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, man.
Although it's a blood in the streets kind of day today, so I don't know how happy you are.
It is tough out there right now, man. We are seeing money roll out of the space in crazy amounts.
Yep.
You know, we've talked about this potentially coming, almost not even potentially. It's like, hey, we know this is on the horizon. Just didn't know the timing. Nobody knew when it would happen. Some thought that there would be this relief rally. I myself thought that. You thought that. And you know, I mean, we still could see a relief
could get
rally
from here. Sure. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's you just never know. But man, we're looking at a $22,500 Bitcoin, a $1,200 Ethereum, literally overnight. In the past 24 hours, we've seen this happen, and you know, no better time now than to jump on and talk about it and put our smiles on.
Right. On as we watch the money bleed.
You know, I mean, it's part of it. This is still a new thing, quote unquote. You know, this is how things go when you're adopting a new technology and you know, a new way of thinking, and there's going to be pain here and there, but there's also a lot of gain that can come from pain. So
absolutely.
Let's talk about it, Brad.
We'll bring some perspective to it today, because, you know, this is not something that is just hitting crypto, right?
Right.
I mean, this is the markets as a whole. It doesn't, your
100%.
401k, your, you know, if you got a 401k at work, if you've got an IRA account, and if you've got any kind of investment in the stock market, you're getting slammed today.
Yes.
You know, so this is industry, not industry specific. This is any kind of investment, you know,
right. Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we talk about, you know, the whole C word that everybody just went through, and some people call it the Great Correction. Some people call it the Great Reset. You know, is this an extension of that? You know, did we see this relief rally before this? Maybe that was the relief rally, just because we were coming out of these constraints and staying in our homes, and some people still are. You know, depending on where you live in the world, you know, obviously you have different regulations and whatnot, but you know, where I'm at, we finally, people are breaking out, and we're doing things, and we're gathering, and we're having events this season. You know, in these past 6 months, we're finally, you know, back to where, you know, my kids are in baseball, and we're back to like actually shaking hands at the end of the game, and you know, and we're not just waving our hats from the other side, you know, kind of thing. So, you know, maybe that's like the relief rally we kind of saw come from that, and it was kind of hidden in all of that, you know, and maybe we were supposed to tank before this, but everybody was so wanting to get out and wanting to spend money and wanting to, you know, do things that's what pumped everything. And
yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to, I mean, massive amount of money put into the market, and then now trying to protect what government did, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's two options, right? The government is hovering between two options. There's like a good meme out there. I should pull it up right now, but it's like, like the little cartoon superhero guy, and he's trying to press one of the two buttons, and it's like, everyone's seen that kind of meme where it's like the two red buttons, and you're having to make the choice, and the guy's like sweating, and it's like, government, do we press this button and halt inflation and wreck the economy and go into a recession, or do we press this button and save us from being in a recession but skyrocket inflation? So it's like, they got to do something. They have to make a choice. And obviously right now the choice has been, we're going to pump interest rates. We're going to protect the dollar. The dollar is the world currency. So many countries depend on the dollar being strong. We're going to protect the dollar right now. And for now, until we get things situated the way we want it to be lined up, and then boom, markets are off again. But we're talking about recessions. I believe we're going into one. I think we're already in one. I mean, but like, I think it's going to get worse for a lot of people, unfortunately. And if you're not prepared, whether you have money in your bank account that you can last on for a while or whatever. I mean, to me, your retirement accounts, your investment accounts, like if you're our age group, if you're 30s, 40s, you got plenty of time for all of your investments to recover. If you're 67, 75, and you had a lot of money in the stock market or in crypto that you need for living expenses right now, it might be hard. But like if you were fully leveraged and you have no cash, recession is gonna be a hard time, but we're going into that. And every recession typically lasts a couple of years.
Right.
But then you have a massive amount of growth that follows. And that's where we're headed.
Right.
So like, if we can keep the macro perspective, we're going to be okay. This is part of what needs to happen because of everything that happened with what you were talking about earlier with COVID and situation, that with all the stimuluses and all the different things, all the lockdowns, all shutdowns, the dollar boosting like this and inflation being what it was. I mean, we just had reports last week, which is why these markets are crashing like they are. They're crashing because of these reports that came out that, we're, year over year highs at 8.6% inflation. You've got, this is looming over this week's interest rate hikes, and on the 15th. And so, you've got all of this in preparation. Now, we'll see what happens on the 15th.
We will. So, I mean, they've got, how many rate hikes are left this year? 4, I think.
One every quarter, yeah.
So we've got a few more rate hikes, looming over us, and some are talking about we could see a 0.75 hike at some point, potentially. I think it would be sooner rather than later if we do see it. Right. It could be this next one. I don't know. I think if we do see that, then it's going to get worse before it gets better, for sure. If they try to level it out from here, they could. But those guys who are standing over those two buttons, I'm glad I don't have that job, man. That is the world, on their balance in their hands kind of thing. I mean, we talk about these elite levels and how they control everything and all this stuff. But like, I'm glad I'm not in that role. I don't want to be in that role. I don't, I don't want to have that over me. But we could see Max Payne this year. We really could. And this is where we come together, and this is where you won't see us stopping our podcast. This is where it's really important to buckle down and learn. And not fall apart, and just like talk with your circles, get information, figure out what you guys need to do moving forward, and don't freak out. I mean, that's the main thing. When you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop.
No, that's it right there. And so it's just like, keeping strong with like the right mindsets and getting through this stuff. And, yeah, I mean, people are going to come out and be all right. So
yeah, 100%.
they always are. I mean, maybe on another session, I will, put up like growth rates that happened after recessions.
Yeah.
But man, look at any recession and then go look to see what the markets did afterwards.
Right.
I mean, that's where money's made.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. 100%. I don't know if you could why don't you find a chart real quick of that? And I'm going to pull something up. Why don't you find a chart of that? I think that'd be good to show. And I'm going to pull up.
I've got my charts up right now. I mean, I could just like pull up, like a weekly chart, or a monthly chart of like the stock exchange.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So I'll pull up, the Dow.
All right. Do that. I am going to switch you over here.
Okay, so I'll just show the last one because it's it's easy. And let me do this. I share my screen. I got too many things open on my computer. Here we go. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now.
You're good.
All right, so this is US 30. All right, so Dow Jones, right?
Yep.
And you can see last major recession was when, the 20 or 07, right?
Yeah.
We had this huge sell-off. Everyone's freaking out. Well, how long did that sell-off last? It lasted 517 days. It recovered.
Actually, pull over to that again, though, because I think you were one bar over, right?
Yeah. So 459 days.
There you go.
To the bottom.
Right.
Okay.
So a year and a half.
And then it was recovered completely, basically in 1,800 days. So how many years is that? Like
roughly 5.
Okay. And then what has it done since? It's up 162%.
Yeah.
And over 5,000 days of up movement, right? And so like, you think about it, and let's say you just bought in here, like at the low, right?
Sure.
So you went from, what was it? 100, it was like a year, right?
Yeah, 400, like a year and a half.
A year and a half?
459 days.
Okay, so year and a half,
whatever,
all right?
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then if you start here, it was then followed by, and let's just bring it all the way to COVID.
Yep.
It was followed by almost 4,000 days. So however many months that is,
you're looking at almost 11 years.
11 years of growth. So for a 1.5 year time frame to then have 11 years of growth, and you put that in perspective during these times like this, if you can handle being in that time, if you're prepared, if you have good cash flow in your household, if you have the money to be able to manage inflation and recession and all that kind of stuff,
yeah,
you're going to be okay. And if you have the cash on hand to then be able to buy the lows of these dips, you're going to come out really, really well. Your long-term investments are going to be really, really well. Yep. And so it's like, just think about those things. I mean, then you look at like COVID, the COVID dip. I mean, it was literally for 3 months. Okay. So you take the same perspective, right? 3-month dip. All right. Followed by
2 years.
2 years of growth.
Right. Which really, without that black swan event, let's take that out, because that, let's say COVID didn't happen almost, because it's like this black swan event, that caused this major chaos, across the world. If you took that out, I mean, you're looking at 13 years of growth from this other, dip down when the mortgage crisis happened. So, I mean, yeah, I know it takes these black swan events to move, into these recessions, but
right.
COVID
So,
is almost like a blip, compared to the mortgage
right.
crisis of
So, I
08.
mean, okay. So what are people really going to care if something like this happens? Why is my line not showing up?
You holding down the mouse?
Oh, I did the paintbrush.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. Brad hasn't had his coffee this morning. It's just
Yeah.
maybe his
Sorry.
computer hasn't
So
had
if it does
coffee.
something like this,
Right.
right? Are you like, is that gonna end the world? No. Like, I think most people will be able to say, yeah, I will handle this, year and a half for the next 11 years.
Right. Yeah. And what do you do in this year and a half? Like, let's say you don't have cash. Well, look, you've got to make room, right? You gotta turn off certain expenditures that you don't need, that you don't really need, right? Do you need a guy mowing your lawn? Could you fit it in if you know what I mean? Like, we're talking on like a monthly scale from, do you need Netflix? Do you need to go get that coffee every day that could eventually cost $6-7, during this time frame? Do you need to be driving around as much, as you are? Could you fit everybody in one car rather than both of you taking cars? Or you have to figure out ways to make room.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, when I was looking
capitalizing on what you have and realizing that life can be a lot more simple than what we make it.
Yeah, 100%. Right. I mean, and shoot, maybe over this next year and a half or so, you create this breathing room and you're like, man, this is actually like, I might just keep this. You know what I mean? Let's keep this lifestyle moving forward. I don't need all of those other things.
Right. Well, I mean, personally, that is my lifestyle.
Right.
And me and my wife live a very simplistic lifestyle. Some people might think it's lavish because they see us travel and stuff like that. But we stay, we have a very tight budget for what we do. We don't spend much money when we're out. And I've actually spent less money traveling than I did when I stayed in my home.
Wow. Did you hear that? Travel the world, spend less money.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but it's true. And because it's all about perspective. And so this more simplistic we can get with our life and get back to the simplicity of things, especially in a time like this, you make room. Now, the whole point of that is, like, the more cash flow that you can have, the better off you can be. I mean, this is a financial podcast. So let's get back to the point. It's like, you make room, you figure out how to increase your cash flow during this time. So maybe you pick up a side hustle. Maybe you figure out how to do some other things. Maybe you have to rebudget yourself, whatever it is. Create cash flow so you can take advantage of this, because this is when wealth transfers happen.
Yeah, 100%. Shoot, maybe you pick up and you start doing an Amazon store because you're the smart one who stops spending money while all those other idiots continue to spend money when they don't have it. And you're making them extra, change on that. Right. I mean, there's so many different opportunities.
One of the best things you can do is quit caring about what other people think about you and quit trying to do things to level up to what society tells you should be doing.
100%.
What you should be doing.
100%.
And it'll be way, way better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great mindset to like put on. And I think like over this bear market, like doing some mindset podcasts, I think it's probably a good idea. But I don't know. You want to jump into like what's going on today on the charts?
Yeah, man, let's do it. You had an article.
Yeah, let me share some stuff.
But
so I'll bring my screen up because there was my screen should be popping back up now.
Yeah,
okay, so
good.
On the charts. All right, so since I'm on the charts, might as well just pull up Bitcoin. We're actually having look at that though. Long term, guys. Right? Up.
It hurts.
Okay. Up. Yeah, we're down right now. I hate this. What do I do here? Oh, I'm on the monthly. I still got this stupid brush going. Hang on. Then we
got the circus going on today.
Yeah, I know. Remove all the drawing.
We've done this before, I swear.
Yeah. I know how to drag a chart. But anyways, let's just go to CoinGecko. I can't do anything right this morning. We're down to $1 million market cap. Okay, guys. We made a big dip. I was in a sell position, I think on Friday, and I exited. My target was 28,200, got out, and then boom, we've lost another 5,000 points.
Think about that before you move on from that. So what I just heard you say is Brad, you just told me that you can make money when the market is going down.
Yes.
Whoa. Like
yes.
if you like working from home, being with your family, turning off the TV. If you're talking about changing some mindset over the next year and a half, this is a great way to do it, and we'd be happy to help you with it. But Brad is making money while these markets are tanking. Okay, and what he's doing is called day trading. Okay, or intraday trading. Or scalping. Okay, so he's taking positions in the market for potential profits as he sees, Bitcoin falling another 1,000, pips, or Ethereum dropping another 2,000 pips,
right?
Or the other markets. It doesn't have to just be crypto. This is just happens to be what we, are fascinated by.
Yeah, right now I'm in a gold trade.
Yeah.
And so, but here we are, right? So market drops down from 30,000, and it actually went lower than this. You can see in the last hour we're up 1%.
Yeah, 22.5.
It got down to 22.5. Yep. Ethereum got below 1,200.
Yep.
We look at these losses today. 16% on the day. 19. Almost 20% on the day over the last week. These numbers are killer. We don't really even have to go through the rest. It's going to be a lot of blood.
Please don't scroll down.
And so it's ugly. But and so that's where we're at. One thing that is a potential about all this, though, is we may be reaching a bottom. A lot of the altcoins have ran through their emotional market cycles. And so we can, we don't need to dive into that, but
sure,
there's the idea that we could be getting close to bottom. People were looking at 22 to, maybe 18,000, somewhere in that range. Right. And so we could be getting close, guys. And so that's a good thing. So, if you're scaling in at these prices, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't throw your whole bank account at it, but
yeah, we said it last week, even if you're DCAing in at these levels still, like we talked about last week, if you DCA'd last week and it drops, like you're still getting, compared to where this is going, eventually you're still getting incredible pricing. You just have now an even better opportunity. You know what I mean? Right. Do not toss all of your money in until we have confirmations, that we are no longer in this bear market.
Yeah, and no one can time the market perfectly.
No.
And so it's like that's the beauty of doing that. When you get into these ranges, you just start putting a little bit in wherever you feel comfortable. Right. Personally, right now I'm holding off. So to see how much lower we go. But right. we'll see. Some interesting things though that happened over the weekend with this crash happening. And so I want to share two things, and it goes back to security, and it goes back to how you hold your crypto. So with the markets tanking, you see this happen. You see these runs on the bank. Like if everyone was saying, hey, the dollar is worth, or the dollar is going to go away, everyone would be running to the bank trying to withdraw, and they wouldn't be able to. Sure. We're seeing some of exchanges doing that. So like I got this email, and this has kind of been circulating around on social media, on Twitter this week. But Celsius, you can see this came out the 12th
last night.
Last night. We're writing this very important message to our community. Due to the extreme market conditions today, we are announcing that Celsius is pausing all withdrawals, swaps, transfers between accounts. We are taking this action today to put Celsius in a better position to honor over time over time.
I like how they interjected that there.
Withdraw obligations. So, obviously they write this big deal. And then you see the same thing today. Top story, Binance halts Bitcoin withdrawals due to stuck on chain transaction. And so you start to see some of this news pop up when these things happen. You see the Celsius thing here also. And so that's the importance of managing your own crypto in your own wallets. Again, you want to leave some on exchanges, whatever, but I would say the majority of what you probably want to manage it yourself until you're ready to sell or something like that. If you need to bring it back to an exchange. So that was a big story. Another big story on a totally different note that I wanted to share today was that last week there was a big conference in Austin and called DeCentralCon.
Yep.
Okay. And so it was all about the DeFi markets. And so one of the speakers was from JPMorgan. And this was a huge headline that showed up at this conference. It says JPMorgan wants to bring trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to DeFi. And so you can go read this for yourself. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. But it says, this is the guy speaking at Consensus. This was at Consensus. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So it says, over time, we think tokenizing U.S. Treasuries or money market fund shares, for example, means this could all potentially be used as collateral in DeFi pools. Wow. The overall goal is to bring these trillions of dollars of assets into DeFi so that we can use these new mechanisms for trading, borrowing, and lending, but with the scale, institutional assets. Guys,
trillions of dollars. So what's the most market cap, Brad, everything has been at?
Let's look at the market cap right now of all of crypto. All of crypto is only at $1 trillion right now.
Right.
Okay.
The most it's ever been is at just like 3 trillion, depending what chart you're on. Basically 3 trillion is the most it's ever been at.
Right. But the DeFi space, the most it's ever been at is $1 trillion. Or right around. Like ETH is currently market cap. ETH's market cap is right here. So you're looking
151 billion.
Yeah, you're looking at how these markets are working right now, and you see the potential for this money to come into the market. The other thing about them putting money into DeFi projects, and it's long term, right? It's not like it's all of a sudden going to happen tomorrow that they're going to do this. But like as they scale in these trillions and trillions of dollars, I mean, think over the next 10 years. Okay, right. If they scale in trillions of dollars into the space, you're talking about DeFi becoming, larger market caps than commodities like golds and silver and stuff like that, right?
Right.
You're talking about, gold is an $11 trillion market cap. All right.
The most DeFi has ever been is 280 billion total value locked.
Trillions.
Right.
Not just 8 trillion, trillions. And check it out. That's just JPMorgan.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So when everyone else brings that kind of money in, you start thinking of all the derivative markets in the world and how much money there is there. I mean, there's a ton of money that's getting primed to come in. So anyways, that was a major news headline I wanted to share today because it came in over the weekend. And then obviously we've had this little, crazy drop today.
So think about that. Okay, let's talk about the headlines. So you've got the headlines like that of JPMorgan talking about bringing trillions of dollars into the marketplace at the same time that the markets are tanking. Okay, if you tell me that this crap isn't manipulated, you're off your rocker. Okay? You're just, I'm sorry, you've got to correct your thinking. I don't know how else to put it. Like, you've got that, and then, another one, I'm not going to pull up the article, but American Express will launch the first Bitcoin rewards credit card on its network later this year. That's from Forbes. Okay? So these large players are sending out these news articles at the same time that the market is tanking. Okay? And so as we get to the bottom and then they start pouring in their money, or releasing these products, they are going to ride the wave up at an insane level compared to you and I.
Yes.
Right? I mean, we make $100, they make $100 million. We make $10,000, they make $10 million. It's just like, so you've got to look at it like that and train your thinking that way. And that's where we talk about don't freak out. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's wild. Absolutely wild.
It's the market today. So, so you just, take a deep breath, go for a walk, go work out, don't do anything crazy, and, protect your mind in all of this. And
I tell Brad to go to the beach and then send me a picture. Go put your toes in the sand and send me a picture, because I don't have that here.
Oh man, that's funny.
So, well, good deal. I think that's a good place to kind of wrap this one up. We've got we'll do another, what we're thinking for the future is putting out, potentially ramping up and putting out a couple episodes a week. And have one be kind of this market update, and we're talking about news and the place of where Bitcoin, Ethereum at, and other coins and stuff like that, ideas we may have, and then we're going to get topic specific to kind of give you guys perspective on specific things like NFTs or gaming, or play to earn, or walk to earn, or all the DeFi space. Maybe we pick a specific project and we go really deep dive into Solana and what their goal is and what they're trying to accomplish, and you guys can start learning about these different
even
projects.
Talking about like fundamentals and like understanding how to read a chart and security on your crypto, and things like that. So because during this season, I mean, you can become a millionaire trading crypto, not just like buying it, but I mean, you don't have to suffer during a bear market. You can make money during a bear market and as this market accumulates over the next year, because my belief is we're not done with the down part of this market. And then basically 2023 is going to be an accumulation year leading to the next Bitcoin halving in 2024. So, and typically in that accumulation time frame, the price doubles before the halving and then it takes off. So it's like, okay, well, if Bitcoin, let's say it hypothetically stops around 20,000 and it bottoms, by the halving, it'll be around 40,000, and then boom, it'll like run. So it's like, just know that there's a lot of different strategies that you can take advantage of right now, depending on what your personal situation is.
100%. And don't take these numbers like, these are rock hard.
No, I just I use those because they're super easy.
Exactly. So, it's Brad doesn't know, I don't know, nobody really knows exactly where, but it's, those are easy numbers to remember. But yeah, good deal. Hey, I hope you got some value out of this. We always hope that you're getting value out of this. If you have, share it with somebody today. Shoot them hit the share button on your Spotify or your Apple podcast. Give us a rating, review, anything. It's not for us. We honestly, this takes times out of our day and away from our families. Like, we do this for others. That's our hearts. And the only way for us to help more is by asking for your 30 seconds that it takes to
just
leave
help
us
us
a
get the
rating
message
review
out.
and
Absolutely.
hit a like, a subscribe, anything. If you've only listened to us audibly, we do have these on YouTube as well. For sometimes when we're looking at the charts and things like that, and some of those articles, you can always pop over there. If you only know us on YouTube and you're always watching the videos and like, man, I wish I could just listen to these guys. You can just grab from your favorite podcast app. So, but we thank you. We thank you for tuning in. Hope you got some value. Brad, have a fantastic rest of your week. And guys, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Yep. We'll see you then.